What if everyone could fly?
So I thought about, I was thinking about different things this would affect. And one of the things that I started thinking about was, what do you do when you have like big events? So like, I was thinking of were like outdoor concerts or like sporting events or stuff like that. So you obviously have a couple of issues in these situations. So like with an outdoor event, you're going to have people who just want to like fly up and watch it for free. If it's like a sporting event, that's totally going to happen.
Oh yeah, that's true. That happens with like Fenway, because there are skyscrapers around Fenway.
Exactly. So you just know that like over Fenway, it's just going to be packed with people, which is both dangerous and also probably not something that, you know, the people who own Fenway really want. So they're not going to like that. And then on the sort of sports side of things, one problem you're going to have, streakers are going to be much more difficult to deal with if they can also fly.
If they have a third dimension.
Right, exactly. It's already hard enough to track them down when it's just like, you know, some jackass running around in 2 dimensions. So you can also just take off. You know, you kind of got a problem. So
look at this jackass running around in 2 dimensions.
So
what about like a big net gun?
Oh, we're gonna get there, my friend. We're gonna get there.
Oh, thank you.
I assume he has a solution.
You're getting ahead of me on this one.
Also, I assume this was an aside.
even. Oh no. This is exactly where we're going. Even at indoor events, you're still gonna have some issues with like if you're, you know, at a concert in, you know, inside somewhere, you're gonna have some problems where like, one, just in general, like you already have, you know, security concerns, you know, so if you can fly, once again, you sort of have that same third dimension problem. And then on top of that, just think about like if you're at a concert and all the like, you know, jostling and like moving around, trying to get a good view, what if people could just like fly up a little bit and block your view entirely? Then you have to fly up a little bit, and then suddenly everyone is just like this fucking three-dimensional mosh
into
pit.
The sky.
Yeah. So we need a way to sort of enforce, you know, some, I'm going to make a terrible pun, ground rules for all of this. So for outdoor events, there are some like pretty big picture things you can do. You can just like put a giant, you know, net enclosure over the entire stadium, but that's going to sort of destroy the ambiance. It's not really, I mean, places might do that, but I feel like it's going to be hard to maintain, and it's just not going to work very well in the long run. So I decided to look into a little bit more targeted ways to stop this problem. And what I looked at first was how people stop drones. Because this is kind of a problem you've already hit with drones, where, you know, they don't want them flying over sporting events and stuff because it's a danger. So how do people stop drones? Well, couple fun ways. One that doesn't really work for people, but is amazing, is eagles. So apparently, and somehow we did not find this when we did our fucking training eagles episode. None of us like saw this, but eagles were trained by both the Dutch police and the French Air Force to like hunt down and pull down to the ground drones. It was kind of insane. Apparently, like when the French Air Force was training them, they would like put them on drones like when they were still in the egg, and then keep them on drones like when they were doing their initial feeding and everything to like acclimate them to them.
That's interesting.
And apparently, so the Dutch police drone hunting eagles and all like their training and stuff were about 80% effective. Unfortunately, it turns out apparently the Dutch police, I'm not sure about the French Air Force, they may still be using them, but the Dutch police at least have retired their Eagle Force, mostly for costs, because they didn't need them all that often, and it's actually pretty expensive just to keep around like a bunch of eagles.
Just like, yeah, it's gotta be tough to justify, like, when, like, you know, the efficiency inspector comes over to your office and, like, it's like, what was that squeak? Like, that freaking eagle cry in the back. It's like, yeah, that's our eagles. Like, your eagles?
Your eagles.
And then there's, like, a huge room where there's, like,
right.
yeah, our eagle department that is us taking care of like 5 eagles.
Yeah, and how frequently do you use these eagles? Oh, once every 3 or 4 months, you know? So, kind of a tough sell.
But how great is that when the drone alarm goes off and the big red light turns on and you hit the big button and all the cages fly open and all the eagles soar out. And 80% of the time you got that drone.
I mean, Marcus got pretty close with his answer for that
That's
Eagle episode.
Pretty close. So on to actually one other idea that's not particularly person worthy, but was also pretty awesome. They're a company that makes they call them the Skynet shotgun shells, which are just 12 gauge shotgun shells. They can be fired from any 12 gauge shotgun that just deploy a net to tangle up the props on the drone so it falls to the ground.
Wow, what a great idea, Ben.
Yeah, so there's that.
Use that for people.
So we're not going to do that. Seems bad. Also, the nets aren't big enough, so we're going to get bigger nets. So there are, as Marcus pointed out, net guns. Generally, they look like flashlights, basically, and they fire out like a weighted net that'll sort of entangle the target. They usually shoot like 20 to 45 feet, so you got some distance there. They're handheld, so you can totally fly with one. You know, you could have like your security guards flying up with the net guns. They would look ridiculous. It'd be great. And sort of importantly, also some of them they remain tethered to the gun, so you can like pull them in once you get them, which is important because they're not going to just, you know, once again, I don't think just getting like tangled up in a net will stop them from flying. So
it's like a net lasso?
Pretty much, yeah. Also, amazingly, oh my god. So mostly these are used for like catching animals. They'll use them when they're like trying to like live catch like an elk or something. They'll like shoot it at it and it gets tangled up and falls over and they can do whatever they need to do. Or like catch birds, you know, shit like that. But also there are some companies that do sell them for like intruder use, and oh my god, on YouTube the videos they use for advertising are the funniest things you have ever seen. Because the way
send these links to me.
I will send you links. What always happens is I will also for listeners, I'm gonna put a link to one when this episode goes up. I'll put a link up to one of them on the Facebook page if you want to check it out there. Also like us on Facebook. Get that in there.
Also subscribe to our podcast. 5-star reviews.
5 stars.
Every video is like someone sort of slowly move towards someone, gets a net shot on them, and then just kind of like falls over for no real reason. It's so good.
Fall over, make it look real.
They're amazing. So there's also, once again, this probably doesn't really work for people, but there's the Sparrowhawk anti-drone drone/net system, which is a bigger drone that has a net dropped from the bottom of it that it just flies into the drone and catches it, which is pretty awesome, but also like $11,000 and would not work on a person. But I wanted to bring that up because it was kind of cool. And then finally,
so are there just like a series of increasingly larger drones that prey on smaller drones?
Oh, definitely, yes, yeah. This is
just made a food chain of drones.
This is how we get that giant like flying robot in Terminator. It's just like the chain going up. And then finally, my final bit of anti-drone technology, which is incredible, is the Skywall 100, which is a goddamn net bazooka. It's a shoulder-mounted net cannon that fires 100 meters and has this line is directly from like the advertising company or copy of the company, has a smart scope with predictive algorithms to help you get the target.
How?
Which is I'm assuming
scope, like
it like tracks how fast they're moving and like adjust where it's shooting to get them. I don't know, man.
I mean, it could also literally just be a crosshairs that they're saying is a tracking system.
They distinctly mention predictive algorithms, so it definitely does something to actually like either tell you where to shoot or aim it for you. I'm not sure exactly. They weren't particularly clear. But also I thought about just using like a taser, but that's like a very big liability concern, so let's just write that one off right now. So we're gonna go with the net cannon. And I think that's going to be your best option. I think that's sort of what's going to wind up happening is you're just going to have like you're going to have your regular like ground security, this regular, you know, your regular guys. But you're going to have like a force of, you know, air security that just has like these kinds of things. And they're just like, when there's someone, everyone knows that if you go into the airspace, they'll be like patrolling up there, and they're just gonna take you down, and then you're done. So
is there like a certain limit that you can't, like a threshold that you can't pass?
I have a feeling what's gonna happen is that you're gonna have like around like a baseball stadium, they're gonna have like a series of like a ring of poles around it. If you go inside those, you're just like fair game or something. And maybe they'll sell tickets for fly-in room only tickets at some point or something. Who knows? But
and maybe they'll have like events where it's like, hey, you just try to fly across the stadium and we're gonna have all our security guards trying to shoot everybody down, because that could be a fun day out.
Yeah, that'd be fun to watch.
And then what's eventually gonna happen is gonna be some terrible fireworks show and someone's gonna get like hit by a firework, and then there's gonna be all sorts of like regulations and shit, and everyone will lose all their fun. But until then, that was kind of my idea.